this is Dan Ferrisi, Editor-in-Chief with Commercial Integrator. So happy to be joined today by Jason Moss, Vice President, Corporate Development and Alliances with Q-SYS. Thank you so much, Jason, for taking some time to chat with me. It's always a pleasure to catch up with you.
Thanks, Dan. Pleasure's mine too. Looking forward to it.
So let's talk about meeting spaces, hybrid work, all areas in which Q-SYS is an expert and in which you too are an expert personally. As companies continue to focus on hybrid work and they're starting to reevaluate their meeting spaces, what can they do to try to entice employees back into a communal office environment?
Yeah, it's a good question that a lot of people are struggling with nowadays. Throughout the pandemic, being able to work from home got a lot better. So to get people back into the office, the bar has been raised. They need to be able to, when they come into the office, be as productive as they were at home, or have additional reasons why they want to come in and work there, and make sure that when they are there utilizing the technology, that it is seamless, easy to use, so it's not getting in the way. We have a higher bar of expectation for bringing those folks in, and companies need to be able to provide that kind of environment to entice them to kind of make that move.
I think that's very, very true. I want to talk about high impact spaces. I think that's going to kind of be a key for what we continue to discuss, this morning. How do those types of rooms, high impact spaces, facilitate productivity and engagement?
Yeah, so high impact space is this term that has come along very recently, kind of driven by Frost & Sullivan, where you need a space that is more than just an audio, video, and maybe content sharing, where there's just kind of these simple communication experiences, where it's very important for these companies to start to provide additional capabilities to integrate with the workflows or the different types of things that people do when they come into a space. So what are some of these spaces? They're auditoriums, training spaces, all hand rooms, board rooms, things like that. And they're becoming more and more important, as we talked about in the first question, of how do we draw people back in? These are the spaces where multiple people are gathering, because when they're coming back into the office, they're congregating together. They're there to see and interact with other folks. And so these high impact spaces are really designed to accommodate that new area of hybrid work and provide a high level of engagement with those employees.
Really sound like powerful environments. I can understand why they're getting so much attention these days. Can you talk a little bit more about the types of technologies that might be essential for a high impact space, and essentially how they definitionally and technology wise differ from what we might call a legacy space?
Yeah, so it's really driven by the technology needs around this new hybrid work environment that we're all surviving in. So there was, before the pandemic, really great progress in enabling a lot of different meeting rooms, a lot of huddle rooms and things like that, where you got really good audio, video, and content sharing. But as we look at these high impact spaces, there is a much greater need for flexibility inside of them. So again, beyond just kind of the simple basics of a video call. A couple examples: a media company might need high-end sound and video to see different things, or a financial institution might be digesting a lot of information, bringing it into these different war rooms. And then you need to do a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting or a Google Meet. You need to be able to bring that collaboration experience into it. So these high impact spaces, the technology needs to have the ability to work with these other workflows, and they need multiple camera angles. They need to be able to do video switching and video distribution across these. And you need a lot of automation to be able to make all this work seamlessly, so the end users aren't overwhelmed by the technology. The technology can adapt to the need of what they have to do at that particular time.
That's such an important point too, because I think our industry has become increasingly end user focused, and we care very much about people's needs and their workflow and their comfort with the technology that they're interfacing with. What would you say is the market potential to implement these types of collaboration experiences?
Yeah, I think from our standpoint, what we're hearing from the end customers is that they really want to engage these high impact spaces. One, from, again, starting at the very beginning of our conversation, to entice employees back into the office. So there is a lot of focus on this, but we do know from some recent research done by Frost & Sullivan that 2/3 of the organizations plan to modify their office space to accommodate hybrid work and also increase the presence of these high impact spaces. The trend was, prior to the pandemic, a lot of open office desking and a lot of huddle rooms surrounding those spaces so people could walk in and have a private meeting or something in quiet. Whereas today, more people are coming into the office to collaborate with more people, but when we're there, they need to impact and work with each other more often. And this is, we've heard this term, the office is the new offsite. We hear that trend a lot, where maybe it's not people working there 3 days a week, but it's you're coming in once a month to collaborate with your teammates. And we see that in our own business, and we see that in a lot of our clients' business. So the market potential is really quite large as the demand for these types of spaces is growing.
The office is the new offsite. I think there's a whole lot of truth to that. So let's wrap up with talking about Q-SYS a little bit more specifically, and how Q-SYS is an ideal AV&C solution to enhance this type of a collaboration experience.
Yeah, so Q-SYS is really tailor-made for these types of high impact spaces because of the flexibility that Q-SYS brings. It is an open platform that does integrate audio, video control, and automation, all on a software-based foundation, which allows this amazing amount of flexibility to integrate with these workflows. But also, really most importantly, Q-SYS is uniquely positioned where in high impact spaces, we are Teams certified, Zoom certified, Google Meet certified. We can work in Cisco environments because those are all really important to, even though you're having a wonderful in-person experience when you're there, you still need to be able to connect with these hybrid participants because not everybody's going to be there at once. And because when you install the Q-SYS as an infrastructure, you can continue to augment and upgrade it over the course of time. So you're not fixed on one design, because if there's anything we've learned over the last couple of years is that we are not really great at predicting the future and are going to probably continue to get a few curveballs thrown at us. And that's where Q-SYS really shines, is this complete ability to be flexible and to adjust to the needs of your organization.
Very, very well said, Jason. I appreciate you taking time to join me on commercialintegrator.com and to educate Commercial Integrator's audience and me, not only about Q-SYS, but also about high impact spaces and kind of the future of collaboration. So thank you so much, Jason, for being here.
Thank you, Dan. Really appreciate the opportunity.
My pleasure to have been joined by Jason Moss, who is Vice President, Corporate Development and Alliances with Q-SYS. My name is Dan Ferrisi, Editor-in-Chief with Commercial Integrator. Please check back on commercialintegrator.com regularly for more great, informative, and educational content just like this. For now, have a great day.